Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Um, I'm gonna make a tutorial today based on EQing. Um, it might be a short tutorial. I'm trying to make it 10 minutes long, not like 40 minutes long, like my other videos. I should have chopped those other videos up, but whatever. I'm gonna try to make this 10 minutes long. It might be longer. I just do this. As soon as I get a chance to record, I just record, and I'm not really planning what I'm going to upload or anything. So, you know, I just go with the flow. But yeah, we're gonna be talking about EQing. I'm gonna give an example, and I might, at the same time I'm talking about EQing, I might also talk about FL Studio 12, which was just released not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago maybe. Um, and some of the features along the way. But one of the first things I'm gonna say is that I'm gonna be using this EQ here, which is an FL Studio native EQ plugin. Okay, and it's the Fruity Parametric EQ2. The one I'm moving around right now is going to be this one is strictly for frequency band monitoring. So I use this as just to monitor my frequencies in my track for the whole master track or any individual tracks. So that's what that's for. So I'm not gonna that's just gonna be up here in the corner. I always have I made a custom template to have that there like that, and I also put in that custom template to have my sampler thing here and my slice X ready to go. Um, when I first had the plugin, excuse me, when I first got the new FL Studio 12, the uh the template was the old template, I think, with like the kick, the clap, or the snare, and the hi hat and stuff like that already preloaded. I kind of don't like to start with that because they already are routed to a track initially, and I just don't like that. I like to start off from a clean sheet, clean sheet of paper, so to speak, when I get ready to do something in FL Studio. But I'll show you how to real quick um load these, especially sampler. Like I couldn't find sampler and I couldn't find audio clip. Excuse me. And I had to look around and figure it out. But I figured out how to upload these into plugin picker now. Plugin picker is definitely more integrated into FL Studio 12 in my opinion, because this is the new channel rack. So it used to be called the step sequencer. Now they call it the channel rack. And the plugin picker, when you go to this plus sign down here, you can just right click on it, and plugin picker will pop up like this. See that? Okay. So now I have it on all plugins to show, and it's showing all my little plugins here. I'm pretty sure, it could be a few more, but I'm pretty sure. So I custom loaded Nexus in here, over here, and I custom loaded sampler and audio clip. Now these two things are tricky to get in here, so I'm gonna exit out of this, and I'm gonna show you. See, now when you exit out of the plugin player where I clicked before, so if I do it again just to show, oops, right, go to this thing over here, and it'll take you right to the browser, and it'll just pop up on exit of the plugin picker. But anyway, when you initially open your plugin browser, okay, or your browser period, you got the plugins that you see here. Like when you left click on this, these are the plugins. This plugin database here, and these effects it generates. This is what you see here. All of these is here. Okay, but this installed plugin database here is going to show you all the places where you had predefined your browse extra search folders. So that's where all, like, you might have like VSTs in other places, and it's gonna browse that, and that's where those are gonna show up at. And you see, now I have another one here. So this is plugins, VST plugin extra search folder, but then you can do the same thing down here, okay, for extra ones besides just one. You know, you can like set custom VST folder, and then you refresh it, and then when you refresh it, the plugin is gonna be installed here, right? And it's gonna pop up like orange or yellow, you know, depending on how you see the color, but it's gonna be orange or yellow, right? And it's gonna pop up like that. So when you click on effects and browsers, it's gonna separate them as that, but sometimes they don't actually. Sometimes it doesn't really do a good job at separating you know, the different VSTs and stuff like that. So you might have generators here, but you can have effects in here too, instead of it being like a synth generator, you know, or a drum generator. You know what I mean? So that's something. But what you're gonna do as far as generators go, sampler and audio clip is going to be here in the Fruity generator section. See, the audio clips right here, right? And then you got sampler down here. Now, what you have to do in order to get them in the plugin picker is you have to go to add to this, right? And it's going to say add to plugin database. You click that, right? And it's going to say verify that it's working, blah, blah, blah. Would you like to send audio clip to the root of the generator's database? And you're going to click yes. And that's going to put it, I'm going to show you where it puts it in the browser. And that's for both audio clip, and sampler right here. Okay. I want to make this too long talking about this, but all right. And you can do that for any other plugin, like, but for specifically for these plugins, because they're just like, I don't know how to describe it. They're just blank channels. They're just blank sampler channels. So they're not like if you were picking, let's say a VS, like if you was picking GMS right here, which is the Groove Machine synth module, right? It would tell you, oh, well, pick a folder that you want to install it in, and that's where you go to generators and you open up, you know, you go to the plugin thing over here, you go to generators, and then you pick where you want it to be installed in. So the Groove Machine synth module, right? Synthesizer module, you'll put it in one of these here, right? And then when you click that like that, see how it's here already? That's what's gonna happen, and you're gonna click OK, and then it's gonna pop up here with the thumbnail. So that's a cool feature that they let you customize where your plugins go. And then when you go, when you go to your channel, you know, add channel picker here, then it's gonna pop up like in the categories, as you can see here in the dark gray, separate categories. You see? So that's a cool feature that they put in. As you can see, it's right here, Groove Machine synthesizer module. So that's a cool feature, and I actually like that because I never used to use plugin picker, you know, but now I do. So anyway, your sampler and audio sampler, blank sampler channel, okay, and I can also just put the audio just to have it there. But these two channels here, okay, are going to be, after you do that OK thing, and it's going to say put into root plugin database. When you do that, it's going to show up here, you see, and generators, but it's not going to be in a category. It's going to be here below none, and that's how I set it up. I'm not sure if I could like move this and put it somewhere else. Doesn't look like I can because it's still crossed out, but I was cool with it there because now I know I could just go boom and then hit them both and just load them both, you know. And if you wanted to save, like you wanted to save these two things in your template, right? I'm gonna select this channel to move this up because that's how I like to do it. So select Alt and press the up arrow on your keyboard. Oops. Gotta get that out of there. Now, I just moved that up right above, so that way, I like my stuff lined up that way. So now if you want to save your template, get this out of here. Close this browser window. Now, if you want to save your template like this, right? All you do is you go like this. I'm gonna actually save this because I should have done this before, but it's good that I'm, doing it now. You go to save as, right? Then you see where it says templates. Click there. You go to minimal, okay? Minimal. And then you go to empty. And then you click empty. And then you go to save. Now the file name is going to be empty right there. You go to save. This is very important. And then you go to yes. Now, this would be like, this is going to remember that you're on this project, right? And it's going to say empty. But what you want to do is go back to here. Go back to file. Go to template. Right, and come down to this drop menu, go over to minimal, and then select empty. And now you see it reloaded it. So what happens is when you start FL Studio like this, and then you load it back up, you see, now it's automatically gonna load your FL Studio this way. So that's just something real quick, well, that wasn't quick, that was actually pretty long, but that shows you a way to just set up a quick template and also load all your sampler and audio clip channels. That way you can get ready to just start dropping and dragging things into these and getting quick ideas. So now let's get to EQing. I'm gonna open up something simple. I don't know. I'm not gonna do Nexus because Nexus takes up a lot of power for my computer lately. I think my computer's getting a little too old, and this default setting, I did this to save on CPU and performance, so I put it back to this old school Windows, but I am using Windows 7. But let's let's get damn it, I'm gonna go with Citrus. I'm gonna load that one. Then I'm gonna go and open up a completely different one, which will probably be Poison. Alright, and I like these two plugins, actually. I like them both. I use Poison more than Citrus, and I use other ones. Citrus, I'm not a sound designer, and I'm teaching myself that right now. But that'll be a whole nother thing that I do in videos later on when I get nice enough. But I'm not much of a sound designer right now, but I think it's cool to learn this stuff because once you know how to sound design like good, you can do anything in music basically. Once you know how to work all these knobs and make everything blend to the way you want it, that's like the ultimate goal for myself. So let's see what sounds we got. Block the frequencies. That's too much. I want something that let's control. Let's go to default. Start from the bottom bass. Okay, alright, so you got that little low stuff right there. Now I'm gonna select something from Citrus, which will probably be more of a pad sound. I'm gonna try to find some pad sound with some lows in it. Or maybe not. Maybe I'll just click another bass to really show you how EQing is so useful. See, super. You might want to turn that down. Let's see. Okay, yeah, so this will work. So alright. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set these to mixer 5 and mixer 6. Okay, track 6, track 5. That way I can separate them. As I told you before, about the template, I got this here, so we're gonna pay attention to this frequency stuff here too. And like I said, because I have this put on the current thing, that any channel that I have selected, it's gonna display the frequencies of that. So I can go ahead and it's gonna display the whole master track frequencies. Okay, but if I go to, like, let's say if I only want to see the frequencies of Poison and I click on Mixer Track 5, it's only going to show that. But now I need to do like a little chord or something. I'll just put something together real quick, and I think I'm going to use Citrus for that, which is track 6 first. All right, so let's see. Put that down a little bit. I want to blast you guys' eardrums. All right. Okay. I don't know. I'm just gonna drag something out. I don't know what it's gonna sound like. All right. I don't know. Let's see what that sounds like. Okay, well, that's what that is. I'm gonna right click on that citrus channel. I'm gonna copy this. Then I'm just gonna paste it on here. I'm gonna right click on Poison, and then I'm gonna go to paste. Just gonna paste it right in there. So now we got both of these playing, right? And as you can see, I'm gonna put it on the master channel. They're both gonna play at the same time, so pay attention to the frequencies over here. Okay, so you hear that right there, mixed. It kind of sounds beefy. It sounds kind of cool, actually, to me anyway. But I'm gonna show you what EQing does to that. Now you might like the bass and the citrus, and you might like the mid-range frequency in the Poison, or vice versa. You might like the bass in the Poison, and you might like the high frequencies in the citrus. So this is what you do. Go to channel 6. Mixer track 6. Put an EQ there, right? Go to Mixer track 5. Put an EQ there. Okay. Now, Poison, citrus. Let me just do that real quick in here. That way it's not much of a problem. And that way it says it there. You guys can see it. Poison. Okay. Citrus. Okay. So Poison, citrus. Poison, citrus. All right. So now I think I like the bass line in citrus. I'm going to take this down, put it all the way to a low pass filter number 7. You can right click on it, which is faster, and click low pass. I'm also going to turn the steep, which is the order. I'm going to make it gentle 8. Okay. And it's just going to cut that off right there. It's going to cut all those high frequencies out of citrus. I'm going to cut them all the way out to about 500, just like that. We're going to go to Poison, and I'm going to say, oh, I like all the frequency range from 500 to 5,000 kilohertz. Okay. 5,000 hertz, whatever. So, go like this. Go to 1, go to type, go to high pass. Now, high pass is going to do is take out all the low frequencies. And we're going to turn that order number down to gentle 8 also. And we're going to right here. Right where that one, see, 500. That's a frequency range for 500 and up, 500 down. Okay. Now, when you hear this, you're gonna hear that they're a little bit probably should sound better blended. Which is gonna be a little gap in between here, like this, almost as if I carved out a, a bell shape here. If you can visualize this, see that? So it's gonna be like a little bit of this missing here, and I can fix that later. But it's just more of a point of trying to show you how EQing is used properly. Let's see how that sounds. You see how that changes? See how that changes the whole character of the sound? Like both of them sounds together now. Let's bypass these. I forget how to do that in this. I don't even know if you can. Input, output. Forget. No, can't bypass it. Alright. Just gonna turn them off here and bypass them through there. Alright. Here's the original. Both of them together. So as you can see, that's why EQing is so important, because if you're making room for sounds that you like from an instrument, EQing is very important for that. It changes the character of a sound. Now that might not sound as good together now, but it might be because you're going to put a violin somewhere in there, or you might put something else in there, some arps, whatever, at a certain frequency where it pops out and fills that gap. And that's why EQing is so important. And mixing and mastering, I think, in my opinion, mixing has everything to do with EQing, and don't let them fool you, but mastering does too. Mastering has to do with EQing, very light EQing, and compression. Okay, both of them, light and mastering, make subtle changes, can just change the whole sound of the whole track real quick. So that's that tutorial on EQing. I know it was short, but you should get the point of it, is that to mess around with EQ. Just have fun with it. Play around with your sounds first. Don't always just jump on and try to make a beat and all your shit's clashing. You don't want stuff clashing. Okay? Now, I actually might be, right before I leave, actually going to give a different example. Let's put those back to default, right? Now, let's say we're going to use this middle one here. Bell shape right here, right? I'm going to go into a negative bell shape. Right around the same frequency. But what we're going to do here is we're going to put this one to a band pass. And you see how that does that? Now watch. I only want that sound to come through. Now watch this. See how that changes the whole thing? room for that. Just like that, that easy. That's why EQing is so important. It just makes room for other things that you want to hear come out. You know, you want a violin to pop out. EQ something that's taken away from the violin's presence, and boom, that violin to pop out. You know, that's the importance. So, anyway, not one of my most structurally sound tutorials, but that's what it is. Oops. So anyway, like, subscribe, comment. Peace out, YouTube.